Hey, peace and blessings, Rob YB Youngblood, your number one connector, coming at you on a beautiful Saturday, January the 9th. Hope you're doing phenomenal. It's 2021. Who says that though, right? Who says 2021, right? So 2021, we're in a brand new year. We're in the ninth day of the new year, and I appreciate you rocking with me for another episode of Thoughts of a Connector, where I basically share ideas, information, thoughts, things that are on my heart as a means of empowering, inspiring, and impacting you and helping you to live out your God-given purpose. This series is for connectors. And while I'm open to impacting everyone, my desire is to attract connectors who struggle when it comes to monetizing their gift. And hopefully, as you go through these episodes, you'll see a common theme on how to do just that. The most important thing that I want you to take away from every episode is the importance of being transparent, the importance of being consistent, and the importance of providing content that is beneficial to the people that you are looking to attract. And I think it's so important that as we go through this year, for those of you who are striving to increase your visibility, your credibility, and your profitability, that you not only have something to say, but you do it in a way that provokes change, it inspires people, and that you're very consistent. And I'm going to tell you that that was one of my biggest challenges. It's something that I still overcome today, is consistency. I come up with ideas, and as many of you may be able to relate, right? As a connector, you have all of these ideas, and ideas are phenomenal. As a matter of fact, without ideas, many things would not come into fruition. But there's another aspect to the ideas that's important, and that's execution. And I'm not going to get into execution today, but I am going to talk about the importance of consistency and the value of taking your ideas and bringing it to life. Last summer, I put an idea on paper where I was going to focus on bringing a cohort of people together for the focus on increasing their visibility, but through giving recommendations on LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, I called that the LinkedIn Recommendation Challenge. Now, keep in mind, I put that idea on paper around June 2020, but it wasn't until November of 2020 that I began to put it in action, to put it in motion. And so we've already completed the first cohort of the LinkedIn Recommendation Challenge, and now we're on the second. And so when I talk about consistency, it's not about doing something once or twice or three times. I'm talking about doing it over and over and over until it becomes muscle memory, until it becomes something that it's like you're just used to. And at the end of the day, you become so consistent that even when you don't want to do it, you still do it. Even these videos, I get up and, I think about a topic that I want to share, something that's on my heart, but there's times that I may not want to do it. And I may creep into my old self of being inconsistent, of being comfortable. But I realize that if I continue with that, then I'm going to get the same results that I've been getting. And so I challenge myself, and I challenge you to be consistent in whatever it is that you're striving to do. As a connector, be consistent in making connections. As a connector, be consistent in meeting new people. As a connector, be consistent in putting out content. Because when you put out content, what you ultimately do is you give people the opportunity to discover you. And when people discover you, then they can have a dialogue with you. And when you have a dialogue, that's when you can establish a connection and build a relationship and eventually identify if they could be a resource for you or if you could be a resource for them. And so your consistency will prove that you're serious about what it is that you're doing, that you're serious about impacting lives, that you're serious about, making things happen. One of my coaches, Glenn P. Brooks Jr., who I talk about in previous episodes, he always tells me, just show up, right? Just show up. Because when you show up, that's when the blessing is able to take place. right? If you don't show up, if you don't appear, if you're not visible, no one can be blessed by you, or you can't be a blessing to people, right? You can't showcase your gift. And so be consistent in whatever it is that's in your hands to be consistent at. If it's creating content, be consistent in that. If it's writing your book, be consistent in that. If it's tapping into the network to connect people together so that you can enhance their visibility, be consistent in that. And as you are consistent, you will develop credibility. And we'll get into credibility a little bit later in a couple of other episodes. But I want to talk about this whole concept of consistency, because as you are consistent, you will not only develop more confidence, but people will have more confidence in you. I am your number one connector, Rob YB Youngblood, and this is Thoughts of a Connector, episode 9. I'm so appreciative that you invested time to listen to this insight. If anything that I've shared with you has empowered, inspired, and impacted you, kindly share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And I welcome your questions. Be encouraged, be blessed, but most of all, share the faith. And we'll talk soon. Peace.